Alright guys, so Justin asked me to do number 9 on the homework. Shout out to Justin for giving us our first question for our videos. But I'm glad he asked for number 9 because now that I look at it, it's not difficult, but I see where it can get a little confusing because there are multiple parts and you have to know which part you're looking for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through it. I see there is a chart or a table. Let me draw it really quick so that we have it. So we got B and A, goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the question so that we can solve this problem. The amount of basketball coach spends at a sporting goods store depends on the number of basketballs the coach buys. The situation is represented by the function rule A equals 16b. So I'm going to go ahead and write that function rule down. Okay, this is the function rule that they give me. I did not come up with this myself. Alright, so the first part of the question says to make a table of values and graph the function rule. Is the graph continuous or discrete? Now, we didn't really go over continuous or discrete too much, but I'll go over it in this video and Friday in class. Okay, so what we're going to do, and this is fairly simple, we are going to plug in the B's, each of these, in order to get the A's. Okay, so we'll take the first one. A equals 16 times, and the first B is 0. Okay, I got that from right here, the chart that they give me. Okay, so 16 times 0 is, 0. Alright, nice and easy. We're going to do that for all of them. Fairly simple. 16 times 1, which gives you 16. 16 times 2, which gives you 32. Okay, and if you do the rest of them, you'll get 48 and 64. 48 and 64. Okay, let's go ahead and plug that in. Make sure I got the right answers. I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong direction. So 0, 16, 32, 48, and 64. Good. All right, now the second part of part A says to graph the function rule. Okay, so now it's actually multiple choice, so you won't have to manually graph the whole thing. You can just look at the graph and figure out which one makes sense. So let's say that the top is price, or not the top, the y-axis is price. Okay, that means the bottom would be number of basketballs. Okay, so if you look at our table, you can come out with 4 different coordinates. Actually 5 different coordinates. So the first one here is 0, 0. Then we've got 1, 16, 2, 32, and so on and so forth. So we've got 3, 48, and 4, 64. Okay, so what you notice is that as we increase the number of basketballs, the price also increases. So we start 0, 0, and then we end up at 116, which these aren't the values specifically, but I'm just trying to eyeball it and see which way I think the graph would go. Right, do you see how as I go this way, the price also goes up? Okay. So that is one of the options here, and that is the correct option, I believe. The lines are not connected, it's just dots. Okay, so, and I'll explain why in a second. So that one is correct. And then it says, is the graph continuous or discrete? So this is where that line matters, okay? It's dotted, it doesn't look like this. Okay, if it was a line like this one, all right, that means that it would include all of the numbers, or all the decimals on the inside, in between each point. Okay, the reason it doesn't is because we're dealing with whole basketballs here. You can't buy 1.5 basketballs. That's impossible. Nobody's going to sell you half a basketball. Or at least I hope you wouldn't buy that. So when you're dealing with concrete objects that you can't split into less than one or in between, the graph is always going to be discrete. Okay, so the graph is discrete. For me, that's answer D. Okay, and the answer is the graph is discrete because only whole number values of B have meaning. Okay, again, B stands for basketball, guys. All right, that is correct. And then the last part says, suppose that the coach spent how many? $96. Suppose the coach spent $96. Okay. How many basketballs did she buy? Okay. So how many basketballs did she buy if she spent $96? So we're going to go back and see the function rule that they gave us is A equals 16b, right? A equals 16b. Okay, so for the chart that we were doing before, for this table, right over here, what happened is they gave us B and we had to find A. Okay, B obviously was the number of basketballs, right? And A was how much we spent, the cost. Okay, how much money we spent. So here what they give us is the opposite, right? They give us how much we spent and we have to figure out how many basketballs it took to spend that much money. Okay, so we've got 96. So A is $96. Excuse me. So we're just going to plug that in right there. Okay, so 96 equals 16b. All right, now this is what we've been doing for the past month and a half now. Okay, we just have to isolate the variable. So we're going to look at this, divide by 16 because we want to get the b by itself, and that leaves b equal to 6. Okay, so our answer is 6 basketballs. And again, remember that these videos are not to give you the answers, they are to show you how to do it, okay?